Andrew Mack here with Trial by Combat and MMA Island. Today I'm with Joe at the party at Penafiel, who's fighting for Gamebred FC on September 8th. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm at home, coming live from Orlando, Florida, the Sunshine State. It's fucking hotter than fucking hell down here right now. It's like 100-degree weather plus basically the last couple of days. So we're definitely cooking some hot food here with some spicy sauce on the side.
So how's training in that heat? Because Massachusetts heat, in my opinion, is terrible, so I don't want to imagine how it is down there.
Um, you know what? I've read different like scientists and like studies and all different types of things. Training in this heat, I think, provides a plethora of good more than bad. You could really push your mental just by going on a fucking 3.5 mile run like I do sometimes during the week, because the heat is so hot. So you're basically battling the heat, which is battling the mental fatigue and really kind of digging into your soul and into your mind, which is great for us fighters. And at the same time, there's always bodies of waters. If you ever grew up in Orlando or in Florida, at least in Orlando, there's a lot of apartment complexes and community pools. So, you know what I mean? So there's always water around. So it's nice. You can go run, train at the gym for 2 hours. And if you have the day to yourself, you can go out to a pool and cool down, get some swimming in. So it has its pros and cons, but I feel like you're more effective putting in larger, longer hours of work down here, and you really get warmed up really quick. Like the gym I go to, Fusion, you get warmed up really quick. It's about 30 seconds. You walk in there, it's like 80 degrees. We keep it pretty hot in there. So yeah, I love Florida, and I love Massachusetts a little bit more. I love New England, so I love Plymouth, all that shit. Boston, I love it.
So how'd you get into martial arts?
How do I get into martial arts? I think like a lot of people get into martial arts. I got into it in a way where I didn't really have any options, and I fell in love with it through wrestling. Wrestling was probably my first true love. I started that when I was like 14 or 15, and before that I was a cross country runner. I would run 10Ks and 5Ks throughout the state of Florida on the weekends, mostly during summer breaks. And that kind of I met my wrestling coach, who became like a surrogate father to me, probably like my ninth grade year. And I've been rolling ever since that, and that slowly got me into MMA. I met Seth Petrozelli. He was a guy that fought for the UFC and for Pride in K1, and yeah. So I met him and started training with him and his other co-owner of the gym, Mike Lee, and just started rolling from there. That was about 24 years old. And then I took like a 2 or 3 year hiatus. At 28, I had my first son, so I really was trying to figure things out, and fell into MMA again. You know, I fell into a lot of like addiction and alcohol and depressing shit. And somehow I started doing open mats here. There's a lot of open mats in Orlando with a lot of my friends who are black belts now, who are running the open mats. And every Sunday I would go, and I would be doing really well. And then eventually I got kind of in shape, and then I started coming in on Tuesdays and on Thursdays and on Sundays. And that led to one of my friends who owns a small promotion called Combat Night. Shout out to Mitchell Chamali and all the gang at Combat Night, Florida. They do it from Florida to Georgia. And he offered me a fight, like an amateur title fight. And that was my last amateur fight. And then I went pro with him, with his promotion, my first fight. And that's pretty much how I got into it. You know, I've been fighting for a long time, fighting a lot of demons, a lot of alcoholism and making bad choices and all that stuff you do when you're I don't know, like a wandering soul. I really didn't feel like I had a place anywhere once I lost wrestling to a certain degree, and MMA and everything gave me purpose and focus. So, and I love competing, and I love the buffoonery and all that shit. You know, I love entertaining people.
So at what point in your career
That's
did you...
basically how.
Sorry. At what point in your career did you decide, like, this is what you want to do? Like, you're going to take this really seriously, that you want to go to the top?
Uh, Ever since the beginning, I tell people like I didn't really I'm not gonna say I grew up poor, but I grew up having everything I needed, but I didn't have a lot of like extra stuff, and I was always humble. Like we grew up. I'm a first generation immigrant from Ecuador. My family is hardworking, and they believe in all those type of just old school culture from their country, like very strict. Education first. I'm sure. You've heard that before, we're big on education. So there's a lot of other cultures and other minorities, but so that's very like I have my first cousins like that I grew up with are judges and lawyers, masters in psychology and this and that, and I'm the crazy guy that fights naked in the cage. So I don't know, that's just like the perspective I got. Like I've always been fucking fighting, and I'm always gonna be a fighter, but I love this so much, and I give it a lot of love, but there's a lot of hate that goes into what I do too. You know what I mean? A lot of like that. I guess it's from I've been heavily influenced through the years through Nick Diaz, not Nate Diaz, because I'm old. So I always was a Nick Diaz fan. I'm a big Nick Diaz fan, and the way he went around things, I'm pretty like lighthearted. But when it comes to like fight week or something, I'm a dickhead. I'll slap someone. I don't know. I don't want to make friends. If someone's looking at me weird or laughing or smiling, I might think they're making fun of me. It's like a bunch of dumb stuff probably that goes through my head, but yeah, I love fighting, and September 8th we're gonna make a statement.
So you mentioned your cousins are like doctors and lawyers and stuff. I've heard some
Hmm.
martial artists say that a top martial artist is on the same level of success as a doctor or a lawyer because it takes just a same amount of work to become a top fighter as it takes to become a lawyer or doctor. What's your opinions on that?
Hmm. It's hard to say. I really think that people need to give a lot more credit to the people getting masters, and really, there's a lot of fucking time you put into that shit too. And I understand the correlation and like the comparison, but they're both really hard. You know what I mean? And you're using your intellect a lot and your physical intelligence obviously a lot when you're fighting, but it's fucking hard work to as much as you're being like strict and everything as a fighter, those fuckers, like, my cousins suffered a lot. They didn't get to fucking party a lot or do a lot. They were hitting the books and always going to bed on time and really dedicating themselves and their lives for the time being to what they were doing. So I wouldn't want to underplay any of those people, because at the end of the day, what we do is awesome and all that. But like doctors and people, maybe even lawyers, these are people that can at one point, maybe I can influence and change the world too, but these are people that can impact people's lives, save lives, get people out of jail, wrongly convicted, a lot of things like that. So I don't think you can downplay that, but they're definitely comparable. And I feel like I'm a black belt in MMA, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I'm a black belt in wrestling. I have a plethora of techniques, and I just feel like it definitely. I would want to say it's on the same level, but there's got to be a different regard for these guys. These guys put in a lot of hours into their education and into their schoolwork, so it is what it is. I'm 50-50 on that statement. I totally understand it though.
So talking about your gym, Fusion XL, how'd you get there?
Mm. I got there when I was like 3-0. I was 3-0, and my friend Phil Rowe, he's on the Dana White Contender Series. Him and a bunch of us grew up fighting in the Central Florida area in these small MMA amateur shows. There was a lot of amateur shows like in Daytona, Pensacola, all these cool beach spots. It was dope. Like as an amateur, you'd go out there and get a nice hotel room by the beach and hang out with your girlfriend for a weekend. But yeah, he kind of like was working with this guy, our head coach. His name is Julian Williams. He's a black belt under Paul Rodriguez, who's a direct black belt under Ricardo Laborio, who helped grow American Top Team alongside Dan Lambert to the high level, and then they parted ways. I don't know, 5-6 years ago or some shit, and yeah, so Julian Williams is a really good influence in mind to have in Orlando. He pretty much works with all the best guys in Central Florida, from Phil Rowe to we just had Ian Gary come to the gym and spar Phil. He's at the PFL, I think, or wherever my buddy one of our buddies is fighting. His name is Sydney Outlaw. So our guy travels with a lot of guys. We got Hannah Goldie, we got Lucas Alexander. These are all hopefully one day are going to become household names, but there's a lot of us coming. We had Val Woodburn fight Bo Nickel, even though it didn't go his way. We have so many dogs and young guys, and so many guys I can't even name that are at the regional level, and they're young guys with like 1-0 or 3-0 records, but they're fucking dangerous. So big shout out to Fusion Excel. I've been there since I was 3 or 4-0. Besides Phil, Pete Zachary, my friend and manager, who managed me for a long time. He brought me there and he helped me and sponsored me for basically all my career. So I want to give big shout out to Pete Zachary and Signature Homes, Custom Homes. That's his company.
So I jumped on the New England MMA scene. Where is it? Cage Titans 51. So by then you've had a couple fights for Cage Titans. Being a Florida guy, how'd you find yourself at Cage Titans?
Being a Florida guy, I live a fight life, brother. And like a lot of these guys you'll see at gyms, and if you ever gone to a gym, you're gonna see a lot of guys that you will see for a few years. They love the idea of being a fighter. They like to train with the fighters, but they'll never be fighters. And I don't say that in a mean way. I just say that in a realistic way. You know what I mean? To become a fighter, you have to give up a lot in this life. And not everyone has to. Everyone has different circumstances. But with me, I've had to live on a couch, on my brother's couch, or on my mom's couch. Uh, Stay close to work and stay close to the gym, and sleep in between hours between trainings, and get my food in when I can, and then work another 8 hours, and then get off of work late, come back to my home with my wife, take kids to school, and then continue. Sometimes we'd have to rent out little small places, basements in different parts of Florida where the rent was really cheap, but the place was really fucking dangerous and ghetto, hot with almost no AC, in the dark, with one window, one room, two kids, and me and my wife. All types of situations. But like I said, I live a fight life for a reason, and we really gambled big on me. And just right now, like, we're recently getting into a better financial spot, but we're not even there yet. And that's what hungers me, and that's what gives me the hunger for more, and that gives me the passion to go for more. But at the same time, it's all me. I'm a selfish fuck, and it's all about me winning, all about me becoming the best. Because at the end of the day, without that, then we're not gonna get to where we need to be. So I have to be selfish. I have to take time away sometimes from my family, and suffer. This game's a lot about suffering. A lot of these people don't understand that. And yeah, you gotta suffer. You gotta live a fight life. I take fights on 2 days' notice. I've taken fights on 1 week's notice. I've taken fight on 2 weeks' notice. I've taken fights with broken hands. I've taken fights with sprained elbows. I've taken fights with sprained ankles. So when I on New England, and Mike Povera asked me to offer me a fight, I think with Pat Gilbride a long time ago. That was the first fight I had over in for Cage Titans. He really changed my life and really exposed the party character to a bigger audience. And I think that's why New England has become my home and my favorite place away from Florida. But yeah, Mike Povera made that happen for me. Cage Titans, New England, everybody made that happen to me, including my past opponents. So I really do have a lot of appreciation for them exposing me and giving me that big exposure to the MMA world, because I was kind of like a kept secret down here in Florida.
So I was talking to Michael Rivera about a year ago, and he said that when you came up, you're like, I'm from Florida, I can't bring any fans, but I can get my opponent to get more tickets because people will hate me. So you really play this character that just was unlikable, but you grew to be a character that everyone liked. How was that process coming up?
It's pretty easy. I feel like I'm a likable person because I'm the type of person that shows his emotions and everything, like right away. Like I wear everything on my sleeve. I guess that's the saying they say. Like my heart, everything. Like when I go into my job, I work as a bar back. Everyone gives me hugs. Everyone gives me high fives. They know it's gonna be a good day because I'm gonna be working hard. I'm a kind person. I treat the person that's dishwashing the same as the guy that's the head chef or the owner or the regional of the restaurant. That's how I live my life, and the same thing with the fighters. That's why I get along with a lot of the fighters and a lot of the people once they get to meet me, because very humble, down to earth, and I'm only here for a good time, not a long time. So trying to make the best out of it. I got about 10 fights I feel like in my body left, and I want to make the best. I want to make the most money, and like I said, every fight I'm a part of, I feel like it's a banger, and and it's not me like saying it is. It's because it is a lot of the times. Like the every fight I think I've had in cage science has been, edge of your seat. My hands are down. People don't know if I'm gonna get knocked out or if the last shot really hurt me or not. And I come out swinging, and I come out from the heart, and I go out hard, either on my shield or I win. So it is what it is. But yeah, cage signs is the shit. I love them, and I love it's only been Mike Pover and Jorge Masvidal and Dean Toole. Those are the two guys that run Gamebred FC, and these are the three men who've really helped me out the most to expose my talent and my art to the world, because without them I'd be just another fighter in the regional scene. But I feel like I bring more to the table. They always have a camera on me because they know I can talk shit, sell the fight, and fight. At the end of the day, I know how to fight, win or lose.
So my first memory of you is you come into the Cage Times 51 press conference late with a like colorful boombox blasting the champ is here, and you bring like figurines for all the fighters. So where's that
Yeah.
showmanship come from? Because 10 seconds in, I'm like, who is this guy? It's fucking awesome.
It comes from pro wrestling, bro. Like literally 5 minutes ago, I was telling you that my kids are inside, so I had to do this interview in the car because they're crazy. My youngest kid is a big pro wrestling fan. We play WWE 2K 2022 or 23 all the time. We watch pro wrestling. I have a few friends in Orlando that do pro wrestling. Marina Shafir. I don't know if you ever heard of her. She used to be a part of Ronda's judo team back in the day. I think she fought a little bit MMA, but now she's deep into pro wrestling. She's in the NXT. So it's cool to have that like real nearby. It's like a 30-minute drive from where I'm at in Orlando. We go watch live shows. So me and my youngest and my oldest son, we go out there. It's fun, man. So I get a lot from pro wrestling and all the party maniacs, as I like to call them, or the Hulkamaniacs. I just love that. I love that Nassim Ahmed, that even that Floyd Mayweather type of vibe. Like I wanna give something spectacular to the people, not just in the violence, but in the build up and in the show, and I think a lot of people forget that. Like, show your personality. If you're a fucking nerd, throw Pokemon cards at people or whatever the fuck. Like, be yourself, but be a little bit out of the box. You got to be yourself to like a 200%. You get what I mean? Like, it's a fight. Like, people, like, I'm wearing a fake chain. I'm wearing my hat from a pub around here, but it's all fun and games. And if people want to make fun of me or whatever, they got, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going to die just like them. So I really don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, I'm just here to live my life, give maximum effort, and never look back, no regrets, but always trying to move forward in a positive way, and always trying to plug any holes and mistakes I've made in the past. I feel like moving forward blindly will take you to the same places or to worse places. But if you move or you fall forward and you move with your eyes open and you're cognizant and you're respected, you respect everything. You know what I mean? You'll get there farther. You'll plug those holes. So I think that's what it is. But like I said, I love Cage Titans, Michael Pover, and I love Gamebred FC, Jorge Masvidal, and Dean Toole. Those guys are the man.
So the last time I saw you fight was against John Doom a couple months ago. And you guys were coming after Pierre Barrett versus Mo Alkanai, which was just absolute barn bangers, hit the ceiling off. So to
Yeah.
follow that up, was there any pressure like these guys put on a banger, I need to put on a banger as well?
No, I don't even watch the fights, to tell you the truth. I mean, I love Pete. Pete Barrett is fucking cool. I like him a lot. He's a really genuine guy. What's it called? I know he's having a kid soon, so he
Yep.
already knows I congratulated him. But fucking congratulations again. I mean, he's a really good guy, man, and I only wish the best for all these fighters that I meet along the way. But yeah, I'm watching Pete's fight a little bit, but I'm mostly focused on myself back there. I'm focused on myself, focused on the task at hand, and I'm kind of like a crazy man set on a mission. We had to we had to have like an intermission because of the ambulance, because of the fight. They had to take Mo out of there. Just to check him out and stuff. He wasn't that badly hurt, but I think they had to check him out just to be responsible, and which is great. Like I said, that's why Cage Titans is a shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's the bare minimum you could do for a fucking fighter. Sorry, we got to stop the show for 5 or 10 minutes. Some places won't even do that. I've been to some shit shows, so Mike Pulver is a man. But yeah, coming. I saw the fight. I was seeing like Pete put him in a lot of these guillotine positions from the single leg against when he was against the cage, and I was like, this guy's gonna go to sleep. And it was a crazy fucking fight because I looked at it. I watched that fight actually on YouTube or something when it got streamed, and it was a crazy fight. But me and John were just destined to be, and I think just that's just how it is with some of us fighters, just like Hagler and Hearns and Ali and what's his name, Joe Frazier. Um, we just have I think one of the best fights ever in Cage Titans. When it comes to technique, and more than anything, once it comes to heart and grit, I think that's one of like the craziest fights you could see. I don't know how many punches we threw. I knew it was a high number,
Yep.
and there's a high level technique. John's the man. I respect him. Wish him the best. I hope he wins his next fight. He's fighting another a guy that I wrestled against in a submission grappling, Jake Pillow. Fucking awesome guy, sweetheart of a guy, owns his own gym. After he beat me in a submission grappling, he took me over to from Haverhill. I think I
Haverhill.
was in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Yeah, he took me to wherever the fuck he's from, which is like forgot where he's from, like Lowell or somewhere. He
Yeah.
has a gym somewhere outside of Lowell maybe. And he's just an amazing guy. He's a sweetheart of a guy. I wish him the best. So made the best win. But yeah, me and John did our thing, and I think Pete's fight was really good, but me and John's was better. But it's hard. I think it's up to they really did such a good job to fucking like one up everyone on the show. They did a great job. But if anyone stayed, they saw fucking true heart and grit displayed for the main event as well.
So those absolute wars, is that the type of fight that you prefer, or you'd like to get an early night?
I want an early night, man. If I can poke a guy and he goes to sleep or some shit, I'm happy with that. I'm a fucking Eddie Guerrero, fucking lie, cheat, and steal type of guy. If I kick you in the nuts and the referee doesn't say shit, and most of the time I don't wait for the referee to say shit, I'm gonna jump on you. I grew up in a highly competitive wrestling background where there is no waiting. It's just go, go, go. And the moment that person relaxes and thinks that the referee is gonna make a decision, that's when you pounce. That's when I pounce on a lot of guys. Because they're looking for it's like a human reaction to like look up at the referee or like move your hands, always touching my hands, or he grabbed my nuts, so you grab like hit your nuts, or you grab your nuts. But there's also a moment there I feel like where the referee has to make like a move, right? Is he gonna step in? Did he really hit him in the nuts or not? And they either make it or not. And what I do is cause panic, and I will attack right away. So don't ever like think if you've seen a lot of my fights. I'm not a dirty fighter, but if I kick you or something like that and your eye's getting poked or something, I'm gonna come at you, no matter what the ref says, until the ref stops me. So, that's just part of my game. I'm an asshole, like I said. I'm trying to break this guy in September 8th. This guy used to trains with my team at my old team, the Jungle, with Seth Pedrozelli and Mike Lee. I haven't been there in a long time, like 15 years, but I'm a psychopath, so I'm gonna make it personal, and I'm gonna make it very personal when it comes to these hands, and I put hands on them. So it is what it is. I'm sure he thinks he's a tough guy, but we'll see who the toughest guy is on September 8th, Jacksonville, ViStar Memorial Arena. We're gonna have gonna have a lot of football players there from the Jaguars, a couple Miami Heat players from what Jorge said. We had a lot of them last time, so it's gonna be a star-studded event. I'm really excited. Fabricio Werdum fighting Junior Dos Santos bare knuckle. I know they're a little bit past their prime, but this is still one of the biggest cards I've been a part of. Like two past UFC world champions. That's a pay per view anywhere. So super excited to be a part of the card, and I'm gonna try to steal the event like I usually do. I'm gonna have the best fight, and I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna win emphatically. And after that, I might take a break. Who knows?
So how'd your relationship with Jorge Masvidal start?
It's weird. You know what? My wife would be fucking. She used to think I was like a fanboy because a long time ago, no one knew who this guy was, right? But it so happened to be funny that me and him, just life and destiny was always like kind of weird. Like he went to the same elementary school I went to in Miami when I was living there, which is weird. We lived like in the same area where the apartments were at in Miami, which is weird. Um, when I was younger, I used to like no one liked him. I guess like no one really knew who he was, but he had a TV show on YouTube and I used to watch it. I used to pay for it. This is like 2008 or not even 2000, maybe like 2015 or something weird like that. And it was him and this one guy called Alexis Villa, who was a flyweight from Cuba, who was a Olympian. So I used to love that guy and how he worked his wrestling, obviously. And Jorge was like one of his friends, and so that's when I first saw Jorge. And obviously, I knew he was a great fighter. He was in Strikeforce at the time. And I started my career. He was a fucking legend, and by the time we ended, he's retired. He's legendary. He's the man in Florida. He's an awesome guy, and I really think he has a big heart. And he's the one that gave me the opportunity. Him and Dean Toole, really, but he's the one that really came up to me and told me he liked how I fought. I fought for him for his MMA promotion, not bare knuckle promotion. He has an MMA promotion with gloves called Icon FC that he
Yep.
promotes with the same promoter, Dean Toole, and I fought for him on like 1 or 2 weeks notice versus a 9-0 American top team guy from like Uzbekistan or like one of those Russian Eastern European blocks. Um, and I was supposed to lose just like any place else. I'm supposed to go and lose, and I beat the fuck out of the guy, which was great or whatever. But like I said, I always wish these guys the best. But yeah, and that just made me shine. It was in front of Roberto Duran, him, the whole American top team squad, everybody, every coach they had. And like I said, I don't like to toot my horn. I've done that shit before versus a few of their guys and a few other guys.
So your fight on September 8th is a bare knuckle fight, right?
Yeah, it's a bare knuckle MMA fight. Um, I've done that one before in the past. I've fought a UFC veteran, Erwin Rivera, a great guy. Recently getting out of a lot of he got out of a lot of trouble and stuff, but he's getting better. He's a good guy, crazy guy, just like me. But like no disrespect towards him, obviously. I'm just ready. Like bare knuckle doesn't scare me. I know a lot of fighters really. I've heard because I talk to these fighters. They're like, no way. Like I'm not gonna do that shit. And I don't know. To me, it doesn't phase me. It's just a fight, different set of rules, more pain, more blood. If you can't take it, then stay out the kitchen. Kind of like that's kind of like my motto. But I'm here for blood, man. I'm here to win. It's gonna be bare knuckle MMA, and it's only the second sanctioned bare knuckle MMA event in Florida. I was a part of the first, and I'm a part of the second, which is pretty cool.
So besides the obvious, what's the biggest difference between having gloves on and not having gloves on?
I feel like I feel like the only reason I lost the fight last time for the most part was because of the blood, and because I think my activity was really good. I think the guy definitely won the fight. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say that he didn't win, but I feel like the cut and the blood really gave the crowd and the judges like this big assumption that he's landing so much. He just landed very clean and landed on that same spot with a right hook from a certain position a few times. And in bare knuckle, one time's enough to cut you. The second time, if he lands on the same spot, I had like a huge lump / hematoma on the side of my eyebrow. But that type of shit doesn't phase me. Like I've been beat up before, like really bad in street fight situations where I've had 5-6 guys stomp me out in the middle of a fucking like 3 or 4 on 10, 15 type of situation. And that's just not me. Like, I'm not trying to glorify that shit. That shit's stupid. Like, if you're doing that, you're gonna fucking probably die. I could have got stabbed a bunch of times. But like I said, Orlando's weird. I'm a weird guy, and I'm not scared of a fight, like a fist on fist fight, no matter what the person's size is, who they are. I'm like that Chihuahua that has a lot of bark, but I bite. So that's what it is. Bare knuckle MMA to me is gonna be a little bit of pain, and if you get hit clean, and you're probably gonna get cut, and that's gonna make the crowd, the judges, it's gonna give you a big negative right there right away. But it's I've seen a lot of guys also take a different route and like grapple a lot, be grapple heavy because they don't want to get into that type of war. But I'm in it to win it, brother. You know what I mean? I want to drive these cars fast, and I'm driving this truck. I have a F-150. That's what I always describe myself as. I'm not a Corvette. I'm a F-150. I don't have that much horsepower, but what I do bring to the table is fucking nonstop pressure, relentlessness, a chin, action, grappling. I bring everything. I bring all this, but I can't wait. Like I said, September 8th, ViStar Memorial Arena. It's gonna be amazing.
So what excites you the most going into this fight? What are you looking forward to do?
I'm looking forward to compete. That's the biggest thing. I'm looking forward to compete, and I'm looking forward to be able to be compensated for the type of work that I do. And that's why I always give a big shout out to these two promoters, like I've been doing this whole podcast, Mike Bover and Jorge Masvidal, because they pay the best. They pay me well. I feel really compensated for the work that I do, and I also feel that I'm treated at a decent to a nice level where I'm comfortable. I'm at nice hotels. I'm eating good lobster rolls, lobster bisque. You know what I mean? It's like, what can I ask for? I'm a fucking peasant from the slums, from the gutter. You know what I mean? I'm eating out here, oyster, Rockefeller. I just love it, man. I love the fight life. Like I told you, I've given up a lot for this fight life. I've given up a lot financially. Let's put it that way. That's how I want to put it to people. I might not have the nicest car. I might not have the nicest place or the nicest place to sleep at, but I've experienced a lot in this life, and especially in the fight game. I have a lot of experience, and I bring that to the table. A lot of experience, heart, and in Spanish is what we call cojones, which is balls. And that's what I have. I have a lot of fucking balls. You have to bring your balls to the court that day. And if someone's gonna shy away from the fight, like if you get hit and you don't like getting hit bare knuckle, and I'm gonna fucking pounce on you, and I'm gonna wreck your day. I'm gonna fuck your nice life up, your nice wife. All that shit's going out the door, because I'm only there for that. I'm only there to give people pain, win, be selfish, and protect me, my dream, and my family's dream to one day be financially free. You know what I mean? Get out of these chains, this 9 to 5 shit, and be able to provide for them in a different type of way. Even if it takes me fucking going out there and slugging it out with as many people as I need to, YouTubers included. I love to get a YouTuber fight, like before I get a little bit too old. You know what I mean?
Any
Before
specific one?
they Diaz me.
Any specific one you want to fight?
I would fight fucking any YouTuber, not anyone specific. I don't know. Give me a big guy, I guess, so they can pay me, like a Bradley Martin. Give me some big motherfuckers, so you know what I mean? So they feel fucking matched up really well. Like, that's what it is with me. Like, I don't care. Like, if you're gonna pay me well, fucking let's make a spectacle out of it. Big guy versus little guy. Since everyone always thinks, oh, you know what I mean? They always say that shit. I would love to fight a 200-pound guy in the cage. And especially if he's a YouTuber, give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 5-minute rounds with that motherfucker. Let's see who dies. You know what I mean? I got money on myself every time. He can hit me with everything, and if I'm still standing, you're gonna fucking die. You know what I mean? It's that type of fight with me. And September 8th, I'm planning to bring that. I'm bringing relentless pressure and a gas tank, and I'm bringing heart. Everyone knows that I smoke weed and I drink my beer, but that doesn't affect me. If you think that a Coors Light every once in a while and a joint every once in a while is gonna affect my cardio, you're fucking crazy. Okay, I do fucking 4, 5, 6 rounds, 5 minutes with new people on me. on the regular. You know what I mean? It's like when I come back from the beach getting drunk lit, I'll come into team practice and fuck people up. But that's just who I am, and I'm here to, like I said, I'm here to get mine. I'm here to work for my dream.
So most of my viewers only follow New England scenes. So make your pitch to them on why they should tune in to watch your fight.
New England, everybody, Connecticut. What we got? Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire. Everyone in that included. If I missed you, I'm sorry. This is the party speaking from his heart. Please watch it on YouTube. Okay, comment. Make sure you comment for the party. Joe Penafiel. You're gonna watch blood, guts, heart, soul, a little bit of beans and rice, and a lot of ice because you're gonna need it after you're watching a fight with me. There's gonna be blood. You're gonna see everything, man. It's gonna be like an opera, dog. I'm out there, and it's gonna be up and down. I'm gonna tell you a story, and you're gonna follow it. And sometimes the bad guy dies in the story, but that's okay. That's how this game is played. But you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna be at the edge of your seat, and it's gonna be the same party every single time. Like I told you, I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve. Maximum effort, no regrets, no mercy, and no fucks given. That's my motto. That's my mantra. I'm never gonna take a step back, and if I do, it's because I gotta dance a little bit, recover, and then I'm coming in for more. Everyone in New England, Cage Titans, they know I love them. All my Cage Titans community, all my fans up there in New England, and anybody else that I fought with, like CES, I fought with down here in Orlando during the pandemic. I love them all. I just want you guys to tune in and watch violence. You're gonna have Junior Dos Santos going against Fabricio Werdum, two of the best heavyweights to ever do it, two UFC champions, okay? We're going to headline this fucking event. And then you have a million and a multitude of different hard hitting fucking bangers out here, including myself, my friend Reggie Northrup that played for Alabama. We got all types of athletes. Okay, it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna have Joshua Wings, Erwin Rivera, Anthony Njuakani. I'm trying to think who else is on this bitch. A lot of names, but come watch it. It's free on YouTube. If you're in New England, just tune in September 8th, Friday night. Make sure you comment, make sure you like, and make sure you share. Gamebred FC going live Friday, September 18th from the ViStar Memorial Arena, Jacksonville, Florida. All you fucking party maniacs, get ready because we're about to run wild in Jacksonville.
Hell yeah. So looking a little bit into the future, you got some call-outs from here in New England. We had Jay Perrin recently call you out for March, and you said you want December, but I think he's having a kid in December. So is that something you want to do down the line?
Me and Jay have to fight eventually, I guess. Just because he hates me and I hate him so much, he cries all the time. He likes to speak my name a lot, even though he's the UFC guy. Somehow I'm at the top of his list because he knows I'm the fucking coolest guy around, probably. Jay's a good fighter. Do I think I'm better than him? Definitely. Have I lost? Sometimes, but I will not lose to him. He doesn't have the style to beat me. I feel he's boring. He plays it safe, and he knows he did against Bugs. Okay, I like Bugs a lot, and I fought him before in the past. But if you see the fight between me and Bugs, there was a lot of shit talking from Jay in the commentating booth, and afterwards how I couldn't finish this guy. I took him 5 rounds, and I fight Bugs the way people want to see people fight. Hands down, fighting, getting hit, wrestling, slam, ground and pound, kicks, punches, everything. He fought him a certain way, which is smart. Just like, kind of like Sandhagen did Rob Font. But, like I said, he's not relevant to me. And no one in New England, like the only people I want is the best. But none of those motherfuckers are relevant to me because at the end of the day, they're all chopped liver, you know, and I love chopped liver from the delicatessens and shit around here. But at the end of the day, these guys suck. They don't know how to do shit. I'd fight all of them, including Chris Moutinho, including Jay Perrin. I don't know who else is left out there. something Gregorius. I think he's the champ for like Combat FC or something. Him, and then maybe Rico. But I like Rico the best, actually. I think he's the coolest. I love his fighting style. And we were supposed to fight a long time ago as amateurs at this little tournament called Rise of a Warrior down here in Port St. Lucie, Florida, because he's I think he's cousins with Charles Rosa, and they had like somehow I don't know who lived down here in Florida, but they fought amateur fights down here in Florida, and me and him were paired up to be in the finals, but I eventually pulled out in the semifinals of that tournament like 100 years ago due to like a shoulder injury, so we never really fought. So I like Rico a lot. Like I said, I only fight the best. I'm never gonna pick. I wish one of these little young motherfuckers will pick on me, but no one ever wants to fight me. They could come get it too. Any young buck, you know what I mean? Any little 24, 25, 28-year-old that's undefeated, building their record, they can come get smashed. It's an easy night for me. I will fuck their life up. And they will have to rethink this MMA career right over. So they know it's not a good idea. Fuck with me when I'm like 42 or 45. Right now, I'm in my prime. But yeah, Jay can get it. Moutinho can get it. The Gregorius guy can get it. I want to fight some other guy named like Chris Dissanel that we were supposed to fight too from New York. They can all get it. I really wish they could line up. And the thing about these guys that I don't like is they always talk about fighting and all this. They don't live a fight life. They're little punks that take one fight out of every 2-3 years. Jay fought once this year, and he hasn't fought, but he hadn't won a fight in 2 years before that. So it's like this is my 5th fight this year. Win or lose, I live a fight life. I do this shit. You know what I mean? I take my earnings and I put them in the bank and I pay for shit. Well, these guys, it's their extra spending money, or they have mommy's money, or someone else fucking, sponsoring them, or managers. I go in there just like no coaches most of the time. I go there with my own IQ. I take my wife. I drill a couple things in her brain about what we might do strategy and tactic wise. We call it a fucking day. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. But those guys can come get it. It's open season for any motherfucker. When I'm done with this fight, if I'm not injured too bad, they're going to get wrecked October or November. Easy money. October 31st, if they're having a Halloween show, I'd love to come up there. But more realistically, I'd probably do November just because it'll be closer to Christmas time and I'll be able to get a little check for the kids.
I
I love fighting
believe
around Christmas time.
I believe they're doing the November show. Let me check. Yep, November 18th.
That sounds like me. Well, we'll see though. Jay doesn't want to fight. He says he doesn't want to fight, but he gets ballsy after I lose every once in a while. So he might try. He might bite at the bait. Who knows? But I'd love to come back up to New England.
So speaking of like a young guy, there's Mr. Raposo. I don't know if this is true, but I think Mike said that he was calling out your name a little bit. Any opinion on him?
Mitch, I don't like Mitch either. Mitch, me and him have talked back and forth. He thinks he's hot shit because he knocks out a guy that's has a couple fights. You know what I mean? Mitch is a muscle-bound midget that throws an overhand right and a casting left after that, after he ducks his head. I don't give a fuck what he says. He better come with that shit. He would have to be in great shape to beat me. And he would have to try to hold me down and it'd become a boxing fight. And eventually I feel like I would beat him in a war. And he doesn't want that. I think he does. I actually think he's a great fighter too. But I don't know. If Mitch wants to fight at 135, we can make that happen too. Like I said, I could give a fuck about these guys. I don't think about them at all. I'm always just trying to work on me. I'm working on my holes, what I did wrong in my past fights, what I did wrong recently. What I could do better, working, and when I'm not working on that, I'm working on different philosophies and ways to get my fighting better, my MMA knowledge, my jiu-jitsu, everything. So yeah, like I'm not really opposed to fighting anybody, like I said, but I'm not thinking about these guys as much as they're thinking about me when they win and shit. I just don't give a fuck. I do love to fuck with people on social media and talk shit with them. Because I feel like it's just so fun. It's so easy. And then when they're in person, they're so different. All these guys are different in person. They always say they were going to kill me and kick my ass. They don't do shit. They just hang out, shake my hand. They're really quiet. So, like I said, September 8th, I'm bringing a lot of vigor. I'm bringing a lot of fucking venom and like vinegar in this piss. You know what I mean? Like I just really want to hurt this guy. I want to win and really show everyone who the party is and represent, represent New England, represent myself, my country, and my family the correct way.
And just one more New England guy I want your thoughts on. Boogs last year after his win against Will Smith in his post-fight interview said that every time he closes his eyes, he sees your face and wants to rematch. What's your response to that?
Oh, me and Bugs are cool, man. I'd fight Bugs for fucking $5. Like that's how much I like Bugs. Like, but it fighting's also business too. Like, there's no like I would have if Bugs I would have loved for Bugs to beat Jay. I would have laughed my ass off. I would have been posting a bunch of shit, and then I would have fought Bugs for sure. I was like, yo, just for Bugs. Because as a fighter, I know there's only a limited time window, and I know he's trying to get out, and there's a window closing in on him. Same as me and same as everybody else. We never know what injury or what could take us out either. And Boogs is a cool guy. I would have loved to give him a title shot. I would have loved to give up my title so and him and Jay fight for a title, and then they fucking, he beats him. But yeah, I like that kid a lot. I like Boogs a lot, man. It is what it is. If I could fight him, I would. But at this point in time, it's like I don't really think he wants to fight me. He's looking for something big. His last couple fights, he's looking for something more meaningful. And like I said, if it's like if I was offered the fight, I would do it again. I don't like rematches. It's kind of boring to me because it's like revisiting like a past girlfriend. And it's like you know what I mean. Sometimes it's not a good idea.
Yep. All right,
but he's a good guy. I love Bugs a lot, and I wish the best for him. And I've been trying to hook him up with the bare knuckle MMA scene with Gamebred FC. So him and Pete Barrett. So I've been trying to throw their names out there to the matchmakers and telling them how awesome they would be for bare knuckle MMA. So big shout out to Bugs and big shout out to Slippery Pete with the coolest nicknames and T-shirts in the game.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to hit some of your favorites. If you want to give just a favorite and move on, we can do that. If you want to give a little bit of story, feel free to do that as well. Your favorite big league fighter?
Favorite big league fighter? Right now, I kind of like Ubar Nurmagomedov a little bit. I know we didn't get to see a lot of them, but there's a guy in Bellator that just beat Danny Sabatello. I forgot what his guy's name is. It's like Magomedov. I think that's his name. Magomedov. He's a Bellator fighter. He just fought Danny Sabatello in Japan, and I think he's amazing. I like a lot of random guys, you know what I mean? But from the big organizations, I definitely like him. And I don't know, guys like fucking. I wish I could see what's his name back in the 145er that like doesn't want to fight anymore. He's from from Dagestan too. He's like a kickboxing taekwondo type of dude. I forgot what.
The guy looks like Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
Oh, Zabit Magomed Sharipov.
Yeah. I was like, I gotta remember these crazy ass Russian names. I'm like, I can't now. I'm gonna have a beer in me. I'm like, oh, I can't remember. Zabit. Like I like creative guys like that. I like Michael Pereira, who didn't get to fight Stephen Thompson. I like Stephen Thompson. I'm more of a stylist, I would say. Like, so I prefer guys like that. Even if you're a grappler heavy guy, I like guys that could do that really well. Like Khabib, could implement that really well. But those are my favorite guys like that. Everyone's gonna say Israel Adesanya and all these other guys. They're great too. But I'm looking for something like different and something weirder too sometimes. And those guys are great, man. Great expression of their art and martial arts.
Your favorite New England regional fighter? I know you've mentioned some already.
My favorite New England, my favorite probably is Jojo Giannetti. Besides Jojo, I do like Jake Pilla a lot. I fuck with Jake Pilla. He's a young up and comer. He's fighting Duma on the Combat FC card. I like Rico DeSchulo. He's cool. I just know he's tough. He's a good fucking fighter. And I like Moutinho a lot, but I feel like I can beat Moutinho, so I don't know. I like Moutinho because of his his heart and grit and all that. And then I don't know. I'm trying to think of my favorite. New England fighter. Who the fuck have I seen that's crazy out there? No, yeah, those are my favorite for sure. Those guys are my favorite. Obviously Marty Davis retired, but I fucking loved watching Marty. Marty would give it his 100% every fucking time, go out there swinging. Yeah, I love those guys, man. Those are probably my favorite. Maybe Rob Font and some of those New England cartel guys are really good, but um, I don't like Rob Font's style as much. I don't like that boxing heavy style. But I do appreciate like when he's on fire, he's on fire. But yeah, the New England guys, those are my favorite guys.
Yeah, your favorite regional fighter out of like Florida,
Out of Florida, probably me, myself, and I.
besides
Besides
yourself.
me, besides
He's-
myself, favorite regional fighter of Florida. There's a guy from the Goat Shed who lost like a year ago at the Dana White Contender Series. Goat Shed Academy is like a really popular MMA gym in Miami. They do cool shit like have Lambos and shit in their car. They have like a rental car company sponsorship, so they'll drive to weigh-ins in Lambos, have cool outfits and walkouts. So you know me, I'm like I like those guys. We might not like each other sometimes. I think like going, I don't know, like going against each other, obviously. But let me press OK on this. But yeah, him. There's a guy over there. I think I forgot what his name. His name is Roy Chavarria. He's a really good, cool guy, striking wise. I never got to meet him or play with him, but he looks amazing. And then there's the best regional fighter in fucking Florida. There's so many, man. We really do have a fucking lot of guys. I'm trying to think of the best. Maybe I have one in my gym that I would say the best. We have a guy in our gym. His name is Donovan Hendricks. He's a karate stylist, and he's making his fifth. He's doing his fifth MMA fight this weekend or next weekend in Tallahassee for Combat Night in Florida, and he's fucking extremely talented. He's like he's a welterweight. He's really nice. Like so, he's probably my favorite, and then there's a guy in the Dana White Contender Series. His name is Ramon Tavares. He's probably gonna make a big splash because he's probably gonna knock the fuck out of that guy. He has a heavy left hand. He's from Jacksonville, Florida, and he trains with a lot of my teammates. We were set to fight a million times, but that was like the one kid that probably I was like, he's young. We just never fought, and he's already on his way to the climb to the UFC. So I'm never gonna hate on that. He has an awesome style and a left hand that drops everybody. So if you see a Florida guy dropping people with a left hand on Dana White Contender Series, his name is Ramon. It's probably gonna be him.
Your favorite submission.
Favorite submission. I like the twister.
Nice.
I like to hit the twister. I be hitting that shit at practice all the time on fucking idiots. So I love that shit. I like that, and I like getting to the truck position.
The what position?
It's called the truck position. That's what the 10th Planet system calls it. It's basically having like one leg in, and the other leg isn't in, but you're like overcasting. Almost like a octopus card, I think a lot of people call it. So
Yep.
like you're sitting, but in this position your legs are hooked, and I have complete control, kind of like a figure four on the one leg, and then my other hands are hanging on the other side of the crotch. So it's kind of a wrestling position. But yeah, they call it the guillotine in wrestling, which doesn't seem to make sense. And then it's the twister in submission grappling. I love that move.
Your favorite food to eat after a weigh-in before a fight. So still like a little bit healthy, but you're able to eat something that's a little more heavy now.
I love to have a fucking beer after weigh-ins, just to calm my nerves and kind of like kind of tell I don't know. I fuck with my brain, and I kind of tell myself, hey, this isn't all fucking, serious. I'm gonna have a beer. I'm gonna relax. Doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking lose the fight. God's not gonna strike fucking lightning down on me. And yeah, I like to have a beer. Most of the times I have a pasta for the most part. The night before my weigh-ins, when I'm doing everything proper, I love to have pasta. Usually not too much red sauce. Maybe it's a alla vodka or something like that. But I definitely have a lot of pasta, and either that or I'm having sushi or some type of fucking noodle. And the following day for weigh-ins, I try to eat heavy during breakfast, lunchtime, because by the time it gets closer to the fight, my adrenaline, my anxiety, all that shit comes into play, and I can't eat shit. I've been I've been in Plymouth before, and it's like 12 o'clock, and I can't put down a Caesar salad.
Yep.
So it's like I know, and sometimes I get stoned too. So don't tell the commission. I'll get fucking baked a little bit and try to get this appetite going because it's so many nerves. People
Hmm.
don't get that. And then a lot of times I'm fighting main event. And if I didn't eat all day, I'm not gonna eat all day till like fucking 10 o'clock and like later than 11 or 12 o'clock at night. So I'm like, I'm fighting and I'm working with like really low amount of calories. So I really got to make sure I eat, and I'm sure everyone knows that like with fighting, it's really hard for. So yeah, usually Italian the night before, and then the day of. It could be anything. The day of it, I just try to supplement my stomach with anything because just keeping it down. It could be salmon, it could be anything, mashed potatoes, and but yeah,
And what are you eating after the fight? Once everything is done and you can eat whatever you want.
eating. What am I eating after the fight? If I could pick, it'd be a steak or a Cajun crab boil. Like I love it. In Florida, we have a lot of crab boils, like
Hmm.
spots where all they do is Asian Louisiana style crab boils. Basically, they get a big bag, right? And after everything's cooked, they put all the sauce. This is like fucking 2, 3 sticks of butter, Cajun seasoning, garlic, parsley, and then they cook it with red potatoes, corn, shrimp, whatever you're ordering, and then they bring it to your table, and then it comes in this little big bag, literally a big bag. Like if you Google it, you'll see it all over Louisiana and Florida. They open up the bag, and inside that bag, baby, you got fucking. If you like seafood, like you got shrimp, and you just take some lemon on top of there, and you dip your shrimp and your crab legs into the pool of fucking spicy sauce. You have like a pool of butter that's like red black at the bottom of the bag, and that's the best part. It has like all the seasoning and all the flavor. So I love that. We have a ton of places like that in Florida, but usually I can't eat that right like after weigh-ins. It's hard to find places like that, so
Yep.
I'll eat whatever the fuck I can find. So I'll tell the truth, whatever I can find. If not, I would love to have a nice steak, mashed potatoes, some broccoli or broccolini, some shit simple.
Two more things. So if you
Yeah.
could give yourself a message before you went pro in 2018, what would that message be?
Oh my god. I don't know what I would tell myself. I would tell myself to keep working hard, make better decisions, and I don't know. I've really done the most I could with my. There's been moments that I might have fucked up in, preparation wise. So I say all my losses were from, and I'm not lying or whatever. I'm not incorrect probably. Like I don't try to like make excuses for my losses, but a lot of all my losses were from last minute fights. But I took them and I decided to take them, and I thought that I could win those fights, either being on a week's notice or on 2 days' notice. Like I said, I gamble big in my life. Not with everything. I don't like to gamble. Literally, I don't. But when it comes to me, I'll gamble big, and that's just what it is. I'll gamble big on myself, and usually I end up winning. And most of the time, when it doesn't come out well, I got to sit back, reestablish what's going on in my life and what's going on with my training, and plug in holes and try to become better. Um, but that's what I'm here to do, man. I'm just here to be the best that I can be and provide people entertainment, blood, violence, and viral moments and clips.
All right. Any sponsors like the shower? Any last message you want to give?
No, I just want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Michael Pulver at Cage Titans FC. So if you can clip that, tell him I love him. I love the team, Nick Haler, everyone, Iggy, Andy, everyone. it's just a big family up there. And more than anything, I want to give a big shout out to Jorge Masvidal and Dean Toole, both of the promoters, for giving me a chance, giving a guy from the gutter, third world country, um, that had a dream and he kept following it. You know what I mean? I never gave up on my dream, and I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm striving, and I'm every day. Um, I'm taking steps towards that. And so I just want to give a big shout out to these people that really helped me get exposed and give me opportunities to provide and make money for my family and make my dreams happen. You know what I mean? To be able to one day say I'm a real professional fighter and I could provide for myself with just fighting would be the ultimate. Um, would be the ultimate. I would cry probably that day when that check came in, but I still got a lot of work to do, and in a short amount of time, which is okay. And so I'm just here for that. I want to give a big shout out to Pete Zachary also for always being there for me, and all my friends and training partners at Fusion Excel down here at the West Oaks Mall, keeping it Florida style. They already know we keep it gutter. We got one bathroom, one shower. We got a hose outside. We take showers in the hose. We got legends like Lyoto Machida, Ronaldo Jacare, my dog Mike Perry, Phil Rowe, Alex Spartan Nicholson, Hannah Goldie. These are all people I grew up with fighting since we were young pros and amateurs, and they've got themselves to a really high level. And I really appreciate their guidance. I have so many other guys like Leandro Isa, Brodinho from One FC, all these guys, Henan Barral, who's helped me before for a couple camps, Bruno Malfacini, an 11-time IBJFF, whatever, fucking world champion that helped me out in my beginning of my career. I really want to give a shout out to Ricardo Laborio for being there and giving me a big pat on my back for my first couple years as being an MMA fighter. He would tell me I was great, you know what I mean, and give me encouragement when I really didn't have anyone encourage me. I didn't have no coach, and this guy was in Yoel Romero and Jorge's corner, and he just happened to be in my corner for my pro debut. So it's been a privilege. It's been an awesome ride, and I want to give you a shout out for fucking getting me on this podcast. Thank you. I just wanted to really promote, talk a little shit, talk to my New England fans, and talk to you, and let everyone know the party will be back, and we'll be back in full effect. Don't get it twisted. I'll be there, either winter or maybe when Jay says in March. But I think winter. I love winter time in fucking Massachusetts, and I would love to go out there when it's ice cold blizzard style. Go out there, have some IPAs, you know what I mean? Entertain the crowd and fuck someone up. So I love that, man. And thank you so much for the opportunity as well on the platform.
Oh yeah, thank you for coming on. And just one more
Appreciate
time,
you.
how can your fans watch you fight on September 8th?
You're going to be able to watch it Friday, September 8th, live. Either get your tickets at Ticketmaster for at the Vistar Memorial Arena, Gamebred FC. If not, subscribe to Gamebred FC. Just Gamebred FC on YouTube, and you're going to be able to watch the whole event for free. It's going to be live streaming. There's not going to be anything glitchy and everything. It's all top-notch production, and we're providing you some of the best MMA action you're going to see, but you're going to get MMA bare knuckle, the second sanctioned ever event in the state of Florida, which you already know Florida goes crazy. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have, like I told you, some NFL Jaguars, some NBA Miami Heat. Who knows who's going to be in the building? Last time we had DJ Who Kid, Roberto Duran, Tyreek Hill, Tyler Euro. So I got to meet so many guys. Who knows who's gonna be in Jacksonville? Come and watch it, and if you can, if you're my friend from New England, if you're my fan, watch it on YouTube for free. Get some beers, post it on your shit, share it, tag us, subscribe. Gamebred FC, Friday night, September 8th, Vistar Memorial Arena, Jacksonville. We're getting fucking lit.
All right, awesome. I'll definitely be tuning in. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you. You're the best, brother.